First thing comes to mind is this is the last week of OTAs, and I actually said something to the players about this, man. Just how quick, like, this thing goes by, and the sense of urgency of getting the discipline, details, and competes at a level that we want to be. And the players totally understand that. So our sense of urgency of trying to make sure that we're above board in all three of those deals, the players get it. So each day we go out, man, we go out with a purpose. We don't waste the day, and the guys are on point. They're on point. So I appreciate that as a coach. I know the assistant coaches appreciate it, but we still have a ways to go, and we understand that. But we're working our asses off to get to where we need to be, and I'm appreciative of that. Questions?
What were some of your specific takeaways from today's practice?
What were my takeaways? Our competes are starting to get at a level that our coach would want to be at. Now, is it there yet the way it needs to be in totality? No. But you start to see it climb. And that's been every day consistent as we've been going through the OTAs. And I would tell you, you could have all the talent in the world, but if the competes aren't there, you're not winning games. So I want to make sure as much as possible that we coach that and our players understand that, and they do. And you see it out there on the field.
Did you stop them? Was there a couple skirmishes broke out?
Yeah, it started to get a little, I don't want to say physical, but, you know, the pushing and shoving. And listen, you want to stop that because, listen, we're all in underwear, you know. So, man, let's practice and let's move forward, you know. But those things happen. It's football, you know. So you correct it and you move on.
Mason made a few plays in 7-on-7 drills.
Yeah.
I mean, the tight end position seems to be one of the harder to acclimate from college to the NFL. How do you think he's been doing with that?
I think he's been doing an outstanding job in that aspect. And it's not just the pass catching, because that's what you guys see, and that's what you guys really think it's an moment. But it's the blocking, to me, is what really gets me going. Now, because I know what he can do in the passing game. You know, but for him to come out and do the things he's doing in the run game, even though you can't do a lot of running because it's not a physical part of the season, but him understanding exactly what he's supposed to do and the position, the body language, the leverage, all those things. I mean, I really love that when it comes to the run game.
How critical is it that one of the veteran receivers like Alan Lazard, Josh Reynolds, or Tyler Johnson steps up and becomes like a number 2 target for you? Because I would imagine the defensive coordinator in you thinks Garrett Wilson's going to see a lot of double teams if one of those guys doesn't step up.
Well, listen, all of our guys are going to have to step up. I mean, it doesn't matter which veteran they is. There can be a young guy that can step up. Listen, we have guys that can make plays for us, and that's at every level, every position we have. Running backs, our tight ends, what we just talked about. We have other receivers that's going to make plays. So I'm expecting all of our guys that's going to be here, right, to step up and take the burden off Garrett. Listen, Garrett's going to have his chance of one-on-ones. Is he going to get double? Yeah, he's going to get double. He's a good receiver. But when you do that, that leaves somebody else in a one-on-one situation. And I'll take that with our guys all day.
Aaron, obviously, Josh wouldn't be here if you didn't think you could play, but you also know him. You have a history with him.
Yeah.
Some of your coaches do, too. How important is that to just kind of have somebody in the building, in the locker room specifically, who can say, this is what our new head coach is like?
I care about good players. So if he's a good player, I want him in the locker room. If I knew him or not, that doesn't matter to me. The fact of the matter, he's a good player, and I think he has a lot left in the tank. I mean, I want him in the locker room. And plus, he's a good person. It just so happened that he's played in Detroit, and we happen to know each other. So there are a lot of these guys on this team that didn't know me, all right, but I'm expecting a lot from them, too.
Aaron, one guy we haven't seen for a couple of weeks is Michael Clemons.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that? And also, what do you envision for him as a potential role this year?
You just haven't seen him today because he was just not out there today.
Right.
So he's been here, just like the rest of the guys. And listen, I said it before, it's not mandatory, right? But other days I said we had 100% participation. So I don't want to paint that narrative that he hasn't been here. So to me, that's an incorrect question to ask. So listen, if the guy's not here, it's not mandatory, but they've been here.
The holdovers from the last regime, the players that you guys kept on the team, defensively,
Yeah.
there really wasn't a lot of blitzing the last few years.
Yeah.
It seems like based off of what Steve's done this past year, your past, maybe a little bit more aggressive this year and moving forward. Can you tell guys are amped up on that side of the ball at that, like the creativity, the different things that you're going to do and potentially do?
I think they're amped up because there's a belief system with them in Wilkes, in me as a head coach. And I think just what we're doing in totality as a team. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, we're going to just blitz like crazy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly what me and Wilkes has talked about as far as how we're going to play defense. But it's clear that the players are excited about what we're doing. And listen, when the players are excited about it, that just makes it more fun as a coach, because then you could just dial up whatever you want to dial up.
What's your impression of Quincy? I mean, watch him on film, and now that you're getting to know him,
Listen, I told Quincy when he first came and met with me, there are some things I want him to work on. And he is doing everything he can to get better at those things. And listen, I don't lie to players. And he's a really good player, but there are also some things he got to get better at. And he understands that. And that just shows you the sign of a really, really good player, because they're okay with criticism. And in this league, even the best players get criticized. But they want to be too, because they want to be better. And he's one of those guys that want to be better. So I put him in my office, those things he got to work on. He knows the things he's good at. And the things he's got to work on, he's doing everything he can to get better at those things.
How would you assess what you've seen from Justin Fields so far?
I think I answer this question every time I come up here.
This is my first time here, so.
That's your fault, then.
I still deserve
I apologize. I'm just talking. But listen, there's things about that player. I think every coach that want those players to have, and he has this quiet confidence about himself. He leads by the way that he wants to lead. All right, his influence with the guys out there, I think you guys can see it. He can galvanize a group of men. Listen, obviously he's a talented player, and listen, I'm happy that I have him as my quarterback. I really am, because I think the sky's the limit for this player. I really do. Listen, I'm not going to go out there and say that he's the next Joe Namath or anything like that, but I will tell you what, man, he's going to be a good player for us, and I'm excited what he's going to do for us this season.
What do you think the potential is for this defense?
I don't want to really answer that, because again, we're in underwear. Once we get the pads on, I can give you a better answer.
Can you talk about the tight end position? What have you seen from Jeremy Ruckert?
That's another player that I think he's improved quite a bit. That's another player I actually had a chance to talk with face-to-face and told him about the things that he needs to improve on. And listen, he wants to be good. He comes from a really good program, and we have a number of guys from that program. So, and I've stressed him pretty hard, throughout this camp, because I think there's a lot of meat on the bone with that player. Good size, long arms. I think he can help us in the passing game. Obviously, he's going to be a really good block for us, but there's some technical things that he had to improve on, and he's doing everything he can to improve on those things.
Malachi Corley is obviously working through something now, but
Yep.
There wasn't a lot of film on him last year, so what are your overall thoughts on him as a player and what he needs to work on, and maybe a role potentially?
Here's what I remember from Corley is his ability to get the ball in his hands and make something happen. And when you have a player like that, the first thing you think about is screens. You think about punt return, kick return. You think about things like that. And now we have a ways to go to really try to figure out exactly where we're going to place him, because he's been in and out, and that's just what it is. But there's a plan for him, and we're going to make sure that we try to utilize him to what he can do best. And we've seen that in college, and hopefully he gets well soon when we get a chance to utilize his skill set.